Hi boys and girls, welcome to the Read Aloud Day. I am going to be reading to you a story about buildings and structures today. And before we do that, I am going to go over some vocabulary words that you need to learn and to know about. When we're talking about buildings, there's certain words that we need to learn about. This one though is contented, happy. That's what it means. Contented. You're happy and pleased. Makes you feel good. Contented. And when we're building things and it turns out right, we're very happy and we're very contented, aren't we? The next one is intend. Intend means planning on doing something. You're making plans to get some work done or plans to go somewhere. Plans for playing a game. You intend to play a game. You intend to read. Intend. Intend. The next one is project. Project. Something you work on. Draw a picture. Something you are working on like a puzzle or an art project. And you can see they're working on a project here. And they're making a painting, which a lot of you like to make drawings for me, which I love. So you are making a project. And some of you did our leprechaun project and made the leprechaun tracks. That was a trap. Can't say the word today. But anyway, some of you made that, and that was a project. The next word is marvelous. Marvelous means wonderful and excellent. We saw many wonderful and excellent leprechaun traps that you made, and it was fun. My mom always made me a chocolate cake on my birthday, and that was always marvelous because it was my favorite and it was very special. Marvelous. The next one is structure. Something that has been built or the structure is being built. And it looks like these boys and girls, or this little girl, is using the Unifix cubes to make something. A structure is something that has been built or is going to be built. Okay, let's look up here on this chart and go over our sight words, shall we? I find my little stick here to show and point to you. Our sight words, our first one is contented. Contented, happy, happy. Contented, say it with me. Contented, contented. Happy means you are happy. Intend, say it. Intend, to do something. You're going to do something. You're planning on it. Intend, say it with me. Intend, good job. Project, project. Something you are working on or something you're going to work on. Project, project, say it with me. Project, say it again. Project, good job. Marvelous, marvelous means wonderful or excellent. You did an excellent job of listening. Marvelous, say it again. Marvelous, good job. Structure, say it, structure, something that has been built or going to be built, a structure. And we think about what are structures made of? And how do you know what they are made of? We're going to learn about that at the end of the week, not today, but at the end of the week. But I have a story to read to you now, and it's really a cute story. You might think about it as you are hearing it, listening, that it might remind you of another story that you've already heard. So be listening very carefully, boys and girls, as we listen to this story. And remember, when we're listening to stories, we need to be thinking about and asking questions. Who are they? Where are they? What are they doing? Why are they doing that? How did they do that? When did they do that? Think of questions that you want to remember about the story. All right, ready? Here we go. the sheep, the pig, and the goose who set up house. 3 animals are going to build a house. What might a sheep and a pig build a home? Why might they do that? I'm thinking why they might want to do that. Who might build a home with them? And what kind of a home might they build together? First of all, how do animals build a home? Do you think that they can build something? Do you think this is a real story or is it a fantasy? Think about it. Can this really happen? No, it can't happen. So it is a fantasy. It is a fairy tale. Here we go. Long ago, a sheep lived on a farm. He always had given plenty to eat. He ate constantly. So he was quite contented with his life. Then one morning, everything changed. On that morning, the farmer's wife brought his food as usual, and she set it down in front of him and said, "Enjoy this food while you can, dear sheep, because you won't be around much longer." She cackled to herself and laughed and added, "The next time we meet, you will be on my dinner table." Uh-oh, what does that mean? You know what that means, don't you? Yes, they're going to have this sheep for dinner. The sheep was shocked by what the farmer's wife had said. But since he, the sheep, was quite clever, he came up with a plan. First, he ate all the food the farmer's wife had brought. Then he butted down the door to his pen and ran away as fast as he could. I want you to think about this. What does the farmer's wife tell the farmer? Think about, what did she say to him? And how does the sheep feel? Think about, how would you feel? I would be scared. And what does the sheep do? Think about that also. What does the sheep do? He's got a plan, doesn't he? Well, guess who he goes to talk to? The sheep ran to the neighboring farm where his friend, the pig, lived. "Good morning, dear friend," said the sheep. "Why, good morning," replied the pig, who was building a larger pen for himself. "But tell me, dear friend, why do you look so disturbed this morning?" The sheep whispered in the pig's ear, "I've just been informed that the farmers are fattening us up because they intend to eat us for dinner. The farmer's wife told me this. She told me when she brought me food this morning." "Oh no," cried the pig. "What shall we do?" "We will go off and live on our own," said the sheep. "We will build a house for ourselves." "Yes," exclaimed the pig. "It will be our project. I will use my hammer. We will build a fine home for ourselves." Then the pig and the sheep ran off. What does the sheep tell the pig? Do you remember? How does the pig feel? And what do they do? Well, right now they're running off, aren't they, to find a place to build their home. Well, as they were passing by, the pair soon met up with Goose that lived on another nearby farm. "Hello," said the goose. "Where are you both off to?" "Hello," said the sheep. "We are running away because we learned the farmers are planning to eat us for dinner. So we are off to build ourselves a house and live independently." "Oh my goodness," cried the goose. "What if the farmer is planning to eat me?" "Let me go with you," he begged and begged. "I'm a fine carpenter and I can make beautiful furniture. After all, every house needs furniture. Oh, that's very sure. Oh, yes, yes, said the pig. You are welcome to join us. So the sheep and the pig and the goose went off and found a good location for their home. Using timber, which means the trees in the forest, the sheep and the pig built a fine structure that was big enough for 3. And the goose made lovely, marvelous furniture for their home. What animal do the pig and sheep meet next? What is the goose good at? And what do they do all together? Well, the goose comes and he's good at building furniture, isn't he? And so they're all working together, aren't they? Whoops. Well, let's look at the last part. What's going to happen next? I want you to think about this. When you see this picture, you're going to know about the story that's very similar to this one. Do you know what it is? I bet you do. Before too long, the happy trio moved into their brand new home. They were unaware, however, that a wolf lived in the woods nearby and had been watching them. You can be sure that this wolf was up to no good. He wanted more than to get into their home and eat them all up for dinner. So the wolf planned a trick to get in. He knocked on the door and their house and said, "I'm just in the middle of baking and I have run out of flour. Can you spare a cup of flour for me, please, so I can finish baking my cake?" Oh, but the 3 friends knew all about the tricks of the wolf. After the trouble they went through to build their house, they were not about to be eaten in their own home. As soon as the wolf came inside the house, the sheep gave him such a butt with his horns that he almost went through the ceiling. Then the pig began to bite the wolf's legs, and the goose was pecking the wolf on the back of its neck. The wolf got up and ran out of the house and into the woods and was never seen or heard of again. And guess what? The 3 friends lived happily ever after in their marvelous home. What does a wolf do? How do the sheep, pig, and goose stop the wolf? How does it end? I think it ended happily ever after, don't you? Does that remind you, boys and girls, of a story that you've heard before? It reminded me a lot of what we did. And how did you feel when the sheep found out about the farmers? And what might have happened if the animals were not prepared for the wolf? What do you think would have happened to them? And do you think the animals found a good solution to their problems? Because they had the wolf. When they built their home, they had the wolf. But before that, their problem was they were going to be eaten by the farmers. So do you think they had a good solution to their problem? Why? So what I want you to do is to get your writing journal and think about the answers to those questions. Think about how did they fix their solution? What did they do? And how is this story different from the other pig story? Remember that story. So I want you to do some writing. Write some sentences about the wolf and what happened to him, and the pig and the goose and the sheep. What did they do together? Thank you, boys and girls, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.